Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod. Today I'm here to talk about the two-part premiere of the Challenge USA Season 2. I decided to hold off until the second part was over to record this video because the first part didn't have an elimination and I wanted to cover an elimination. But moving forward, if every episode does have an elimination, I will post the reaction and review the next day in the morning. Before I dive in, I did do a cast reaction video, so definitely watch that before you watch this video. But we come into the first episode, they're sailing in on a yacht. Paulie says that he was a boy last time he was on the show and now he's a man, and I actually really like Paulie's new style and his new branding. We get reminded that Paulie and Fessy have beef. TJ says that the season is about risk taking, and I believe him because the entire season is based around a lottery gumball machine. This machine, which is pretty much a character on the show, is called the Hopper, and the Hopper is going to be deciding their fate along the way. The first task for the Hopper is deciding 3 team captains, who are Cassidy, Desi, and Josh. The 6 veterans end up showing up in an epic jet ski moment. So they pick the teams. We have the red team with Michelle, Jonna, Josh, Paulie, Chanel, Bananas, Dusty, and Tiffany. And this team, they refer to themselves as the Red Flags. They are a bit of a chaotic group. We also have the blue team with Corey, Cassidy, Tori, Chris, Fessy, Alyssa, other Alyssa, and Sebastian. And the green team with Michaela, Desi, Wes, Lewis, Monty, Amira, Tyler, and Amanda. Now that we did our roll call, some of my thoughts are, why are we referring to Fessy as the mascot for Challenge Himboism? Because yes, he hooked up with a lot of people, but there are so many people who also have hooked up with a lot of people at this point. Why do we have to make Fessy the mascot for this? Tyler says that he just broke up with Angela and he's not giving it to Temptations this time, which is foolish because we already know. And we saw the trailer already. We know that he's going to hook up with Alyssa Snyder. They get to the house, and it's really nice to see after all these years that Bananas is still so excited to move into these houses. And he pops a bottle of champagne. They all have a really good time. The next day, we get the first daily challenge, and they show up to these shrine statues of the veterans. I started to wonder if these statues really were supposed to look like the vets. The ones of the male vets really do look like them, but the female vets, it looks nothing like them. So they have to race uphill carrying these big statues. The winning team will be safe and have to pick 2 players to go into elimination. They start off carrying the statues on their shoulders. I wondered how heavy the statues really are. I'd say they're about probably like 200 or 250 pounds per statue. On the green team, Amira isn't helping carry the statue at all. She's never seen touching the statue. She's running along the trail. Memorizing the little clues they have to memorize. They get to a puzzle. When they finish the puzzle, they get to unlock a wagon, and everyone seems to solve this puzzle very quickly. Then they start running downhill with the wagons with the statues on them. So each wagon has pretty much probably like 500 or 600 pounds of statue on them. And the wagons are crashing into each other. The wagons are flipping over. There's an overhead shot of a big collision. I was really shocked that nobody got hurt during this challenge. The green team makes it to their final puzzle first, and Amira doesn't remember any of the symbols, even though that was her only job. Blue and red get there after them, but they remember their puzzle. They have a very close finish, but blue ends up winning the challenge, and they're safe. In blue's nominations, the team pretty much steamrolls the Alyssas, and they nominate Lewis and Amira to be in the elimination. We get the beginning of blue and red having an alliance to look out for each other. The rest of the players have to vote 1 name each to put into the hopper, and that's where things get confusing. Everyone's going to put 1 name into the hopper, and TJ will pull 1. And if it's a guy, then it's a guy's elimination. And if it's a girl, then it's a girl's elimination. It's pretty confusing, but I actually like this format, and I'm really glad that they're doing teams. I always love team challenges as opposed to partners or individuals, but that's just my preference. The only shock in the voting is that Jonna decides to vote for Michelle, who's on her red team. TJ plays the votes on his screen. Wes has 2 votes, Dusty has 2, Desi has 1, Michelle has 3, Monty has 4, and Bananas has 4. We leave off the episode on a cliffhanger. There really could have been an elimination in this episode. It didn't have to be a 2-parter. In episode 2, Blurred Battle Lines, we get straight to business. TJ goes straight to that hopper and he says, Lewis, you are safe, even though only 4 of the balls were female balls. Michelle gets pulled and she and Amanda curse at each other briefly. In the elimination, Michelle and Amira are going to get dunked into above ground pools and splash plastic balls out of the pool. And whoever has the least amount of balls left in their pool at the end of the time frame is going to be the winner. Coming into this, I'd give the advantage to Michelle because she has won more competitions and she probably has a better tolerance for stress under pressure. Johnny Bananas is advising Michelle about how to win the challenge, which definitely helps. There are a lot of clips of Amira just kind of grabbing 1 ball at a time or kind of scooping 1 to 3 balls at a time. At the end of it, Michelle ends up winning the elimination by only 18 balls. So we have to say goodbye to Amira. Here are my thoughts on Amira. Coming into this, she was known from her season of Big Brother as kind of being labeled as a bully by being involved in the bullying of Taylor in the early weeks of Big Brother. She didn't really have time to redeem or not redeem herself on that season of Big Brother. Coming into this was really her chance to redeem herself, and given the fact that she didn't engage in any problematic behavior, this could be a way for her to wipe the slate clean. I think she was heavily dunked on in the edit of these 2 episodes, where they highlighted every time that she was doing either the wrong thing or something silly, and they talked about her being a cross-country runner, so if she could ever make it to a final, she'll probably do really well. I'd be open to seeing her again on a show like this. We find out that the winner of the elimination has the option to switch teams with another player. Michelle ends up deciding to stick with the red team. After the elimination, Michelle and Amanda have a fight with circus music in the background, which is more just comedic than anything. It doesn't really matter what they're fighting about. The red team meets without Jonna coincidentally and discuss the rat vote, and they conclude that Jonna is the rat. Amanda talks about her son, and they show a really cute picture of her and her son, and she seems like a really good mom. They get to the daily challenge, which is a heights over water challenge. They're swinging on upside down lollipops over water. They have to get as many people to the other side as possible. I really like this challenge. It reminded me of old school challenge dailies. And also, Tiffany braided Banana's hair, so he has braids. The challenge gets to be a little bit confusing and chaotic, but Amanda makes it to the other side of the apparatus in one of her more heroic moments in challenge history. Then Desi makes it across, and Tyler gets close, and the 2 ladies actually pull him up onto the platform by his feet, which was impressive to me. In the second heat of the challenge, Banana makes it look easy and swings right across. Amanda is so funny cheering from the sidelines. Green gets Wes, Michaela, and Desi across again. Shout out to Desi for doing this twice, and the green team ends up winning the challenge. They start drinking back at the house. I guess on this season we don't get fun montages with good music of them drinking and having fun. I also guess that nothing really fun happened because the only thing that they highlight is Sebastian and Tori flirting and cuddling in a bed in a room while everyone is snoring. We find out that Tiffany has banded together a coalition of ladies, and the coalition of ladies start conspiring against the vets. Specifically, they're brainstorming ways to get Tori out of the game. Michelle seems to be the mastermind of a plan to orchestrate the voting against the vets. In the deliberation, the green team executes this plan against Wes's wishes. Michaela says that targeting the vets takes away their leadership ahead of daily challenges, which is a really logical argument. The team votes Tori and Bananas into the elimination, and I wrote down, I feel bad for whoever is in the hopper. Tori and Bananas are probably the 2 best elimination players on the season. We find out that Wes and Bananas are still friends, and that's nice. We get to the votes in the hopper. Polly has 2, Alyssa L has 1, Dusty with 3, Alyssa S has 2, Sebastian has 1, Corey has 2, and Jonna has 5. In the hopper, TJ plays no games. He says, Jonna, get down here. The elimination is called Drop the Ball, where there's a Plinko machine that's going to randomly drop down balls, and they have to catch them and drop them into their baskets. This reminded me of challenges that they used to do on the TV show Endurance on Discovery Kids that Jonna coincidentally happened to be a contestant on. So I gave the advantage in my notes to Jonna because of that reason. And Jonna puts in a good fight, but Tori absolutely bodies her for about 3 minutes. It's kind of sad to watch, actually. Tori flings Jonna, she pushes her, she tackles her. And in the end, Tori wins by a landslide, and we have to say goodbye to Jonna. And if you can't tell by my endurance, shout out, I am a longtime stan of Jonna. It's really sad to see her go, and TJ says that he's positive that we'll see her again, and I am too. I think she's a great competitor. I would love to see her back on the original show. I said in my cast reaction video, I think this was a weird season to put Jonna on, and I think that had a lot to do with her early departure here, but I think she's actually pretty much in her prime as a challenger. It's a really good time to get her on the original show, so let's bring her back, TJ. You're so positive. And we get Tori deciding to stay with the blue team. On to the future. I really hope there's an elimination on the Wednesday episode so I can cover it, and I also really hope it's a guys elimination, so maybe I'll see you then. If there's no elimination, I will be posting about the Sunday episode. Until then, have a nice week. Bye!